viewers. My challenge tonight is to present on the topic improving the agriculture and fisheries sector strategy for reformation and growth. But before I do that, I would like to give recognition to our farmers and those that play a role in our effort to develop a sustainable agri-food system. Our farmers have done a tremendous job over the past 2 years during the COVID crisis. The data show that up to the end of the second quarter of 2021, there was an overall 63% increase in crop production compared to the same period in 2020. In the case of livestock, there has been a 24% increase up to the end of the third quarter compared to the same period in 2020. I want to assure our farmers that the Department of Agriculture will continue to support your efforts and will continue to foster the relationships required to build and sustain the resilience needed in the agriculture sector. With that said, I would like the public to note that with the development of each strategy plan for the Department of Agriculture, the performance of the sector has no doubt improved, but there is still much room for improvement. The last 21 years, we have emphasized food security, food safety along the food chain and production system. But most of our farmers are over the retirement age, and their heavy dependence on traditional farming practices and production system over modern techniques in farming such as hydroponics, aquaponics, greenhouse cultivation, and the other technologies such as the use of solar energy to control irrigation systems remains a serious challenge to future growth in the sector. New entrepreneurs face hurdles in terms of access to land, access to capital, and the availability of reliable labor source. These problems further advance the need for crop farmers to gravitate towards farming systems that reduces the land use and soil impact. And on the livestock side, we must find the balance between extensive and semi-extensive production systems. Currently, most of the livestock farms operate an extensive production system which requires a vast amount of land. This, in the face of competing interests, is just not sustainable. We must change livestock production practices. There is a need to establish more and better linkages with lending institutions to provide low-interest loans to farmers, and in some situations, specific grants can be offered towards tertiary education in production systems and focused development in agro-processing. Over the years, the department has improved its linkages with the education system, and we are now reaping the rewards as we are seeing more younger and brilliant persons entering to the sector. This strategy will continue. In addition, there is a need for targeted investments of the private sector in agriculture. For example, the construction of a feed mill, which would be the first one in the Leeward Islands. This is badly needed. There is also a need to establish better linkages with our importers, as they play a critical role in the establishment and sustaining of economic vitality, which is important to ensure that producers, retailers, and processors who produce our food can earn a decent living wage from their trade. So economic vitality is important to ensure that these people continue to produce food. However, importers concerned with food safety and consistency and production standards within the supply chain must be addressed. These concerns will be addressed by improving market intel both locally and internationally, and improving data collection to forecast and adequately respond to gaps in the supply chain. On the other hand, farm security issues must also be addressed. Many farmers do not have a rental agreement, and this is something that we started addressing today. In the same vein, many farmers have rental agreements, but the land is significantly underutilized. This again we will address. Currently, anyone could apply to obtain a farmer registration identification card. So we recognize the need to appropriately classify our farmers and provide them with training opportunities so they can become certified farmers. I am happy to report that the first step of this process has begun, and the farmer registration identification card will be rolled out before the end of October 2021. Improving the agriculture strategy for reformation and growth must also address building capacity at the institutional level to ensure food safety and security. Therefore, emphasis must be placed on getting our veterinary laboratory, soil and pesticide laboratory up and running to support system monitoring and control programs required to build customer confidence in our production system, while at the same time expanding exciting career opportunity in the agricultural sector. In addition, agriculture needs a larger budget, and from our allied agencies, more target assistance to fill the gaps already identified. To conclude, the agriculture sector needs the marriage of an improved strategy, an agricultural policy, and a One Health, One Society approach to realize better production, better nutrition, better environment, and a better life for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much for that presentation, Dr. Challenger. We're now going to hear from